this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support and resistance levels. It is Friday the 16th of April. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks. Bullish start to the day for Bitcoin. Gonna need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 63.014 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 64.027. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 64,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target its swing high 64.829 and the second major resistance level at 64.859 before any pullback. A fall through the pivot level will bring the first major support level at 62.182 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of the second major support level, so at 61.169. Looking at the MACD, got a widening of the bullish histogram supporting this early upside this morning on the EMAs, inconclusive with the 50 holding its ground against the 100 and the 200. So we need to keep an eye on that. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 63.014 and break back through to 64,000 levels. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar. Bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 24.88 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 25.76. We need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from this morning's new swing high, 25.48. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 2600 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ethereum target 2700 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 26.34. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 24.30 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear sub 2200 levels. Second major support level at 23.43 should limit the downside. Looking at MACDs, we'll have a widening of the bullish histogram after yesterday's late bullish cross, supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, the 50 is also pulling away from the 100 and the 200, a bullish indicator. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 24.88, break back through this morning's new swing high, 25.48, to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Across the Litecoin against the US dollar, also positive start. Going to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 281 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 296. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's new swing high, 291.25. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 300 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Litecoin target resistance at 315 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 306. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 271 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should still well clear the second major support level, sitting at 256. Looking at MACD, you've got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms, but nothing suggestive of a bearish morning ahead, so need to keep an eye on that. On the EMA, still a bullish indicator with the 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further upside ahead. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the 281 pivot, and break out from yesterday's new swing high, 291.25, to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against US dollar. Mixed start to the day here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the pivot at 1.7652 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 1.8777. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 1.8 levels. However, so barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP target 2.0 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.9961. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 1.6468 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of the 23.6% fib at 1.5426. Second major support level sits at 1.5343. Looking at the MACD, you've got a narrowing of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, so need to keep an eye out for a possible bearish cross. On the EMAs, there's been a slight narrowing of the 50 on the 100 and the 200, suggesting of some downside, so need to keep an eye on that as well. So keep through the early part of the day. for Ripple's XRP to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1.7652 and break back through to 1.8 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play.